Focus on my red lights. Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word from it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I came on my green light. I'm getting green light. Talking to my past life. Focus on my red lights. Cruising to my future.
Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? How you ladies doing? Y'all doing all right? Okay, listen, this is going to be one more episode, one more show full of information, full of so many great things. If you didn't know, you will find out, you will educate yourself, you will learn, and you'll probably be like, really? But yes, it's happening around the world, and we're gonna get into it in just a few. We're gonna be talking about some very important things. One topic that we are gonna be talking about is hearing loss and dementia. Yes. Understanding the connection between those two, and I think that's a topic that is very, very important. Anything that has to do with your health overall, it's important for us to educate ourselves. We're also gonna be talking about
passions and your
There you go. We're going to be talking about balancing passions and careers. But I think there's some viewers that they're probably saying to themselves, okay, that's great what they're going to be talking about, but who are these ladies?
Right? They're like,
I have never seen them before.
But I don't know that.
Well, now that we have your attention on topics we're going to be discussing, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Nori.
I'm Angelique.
I'm Shaitia.
And you are tuned into Breaking the Silence. We have invaded your device, your television for this next hour. We want you to stay glued to your screen. And we're also going to have our web wonder and whatnot, where we are going to be talking about interesting things that have been happening. You're going to be like, what in the world? Yes, get ready for it, because you're going to be shocked, just as I was shocked, all right? But don't go anywhere. Actually, yes, go get your coffee, go get your juice, your snacks, whatever it is, and then come right back. Right after this break, we will get into our topics.
The show isn't over yet. Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Here's your challenge. How many times is the yellow backpack passed? Go. So the yellow backpack was passed 17 times. But how aware were you? Did you notice that our scene moved outside? What about the student who put on a hat and switched books? Or the woman dropping the suspicious package? Sometimes it's easy to miss the obvious. Your next challenge? Be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Having low income can mean making tough choices. Choosing between paying for food or medication or a place to live is a reality for many people. Do you know someone who could use some extra help? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI. You could receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. SSI is money you can use to help pay for basic needs, like putting food on the table, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. It can mean new shoes for growing feet or help with medical needs. call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSI to schedule an appointment or start to apply today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Breaking the Silence is back. Let's keep the conversation going.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
Justification that comes with any addiction.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
But as you mature, you have to be with someone who matures with you.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
All right, we are back. But before we get into our first topic, we do have our question of the day that we would love to share with all of you. And that question is, what is your favorite way to network? This is a very interesting question, a very interesting one. Well, we want to hear from you guys, what you guys have to say about this question. What is your favorite way to network? We do have our QR code, which you can scan, and that is going to take you straight to our page. There it goes. Our QR code is going to take you to our page where you can be able to drop your comments and let us know what is your favorite way to network. Towards the end of the show, we are definitely going to read some of the comments that you guys leave on our page, and if time permits, we'll be able to share our own as well, right, ladies?
Yes.
All right, so let us go into our topic, hearing loss and dementia. Today we're going to be talking about discussing the connection between those two, and this is very important. I actually didn't even know that this was linked, you know, and now that I know I have, you know, some information about it, it's something that I think everyone should be very well aware of, because a lot of times you can go through certain things, you can face certain situations and not know that is linked, right?
Exactly. And you know, as we said, as surprising as it is, you know, it's linked because of our cognitive skills. Because when you have hearing loss, it forces your brain to start working in overdrive. You know, it's starting to work more. And the more your brain works, you know, the more strain it becomes. So that's kind of why it's linked together.
Yeah, we're gonna delve more in the science of the connection of it and how to protect our hearing and also our brain health. Because if one is affected, you know, the other one is also affected. So we gotta protect both.
Exactly. And you know, there is a fact, study shows that a significant connection between hearing loss and an increased risk of developing dementia. You know, also Alzheimer's is included as well. So you can develop. Does it mean that you're gonna get, if you suffer hearing loss, that you're gonna get dementia? No, it doesn't mean. It just means that there is a chance, there's a possibility, there's a risk to it. So that's something that I think everyone has to look into.
And actually, there is a 2020 Lancet Commission report that was identified that hearing loss, as you were talking about, Nori, you know, hearing loss is one of the top 12 risk factors for dementia. So once it's kind of like, you know, a symptom, right? So if you have it, it's not necessarily like directly linked to dementia, but it's good to double check. It's good to, you know, ask your doctor, your physician to see why I'm having this hearing loss. It might be due to different factors, but it can be, one of the factors can be dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
And you know, that's one thing that I have noticed is that, I don't know about you guys, if you know people in your circle, but people in my circle, except for you guys, I don't know if this applies to you guys, but not a lot of people often go and check their ears. Not a lot of people often, you know, set up appointments for these things, which is very, very important. Now it's like my eyes are being opened up to many different things. You know, a lot of times we go for our regular checkups, we go for, you know, the simplest things, but we never go into debt with other things that can be crucial with our cognitive skills and things like that. So, I mean, it's really an eye-opener. It's really an eye-opener because I was listening to this man who was speaking about it, the connection between hearing loss and dementia, and he was saying that the more severe your hearing loss is, the more prone you are to develop. You know, the risk is higher of you getting dementia, you know, and that is very scary. It is very scary.
Because there is a shrinkage. If you're not using that part of the brain, it shrinks. I guess when the brain develops, it shrinks, and then the more you use it less, the more it's not being activated. So there is a link to quicker shrinkage of areas of the brain responsible for processing sounds and memory. So you see sounds and then memories. You see how sometimes we like remember a song, right?
Yeah.
Remember a song,
And
or
you
like
remember
a
the
sound,
time,
and like
like
a
where
hum.
you was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It links to like a memory ages and ages ago. But that if that is shut off, if that is turned off, then it affects the memory. So I think now I'm kind of like understanding the science. When you go to the science behind all of this risk and factors, you understand that, oh, because of that, you know. But when you just say, no, hearing loss, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But then when we go deeper to it, then we kind of like know now.
Yeah.
And also isolation. Like when someone is secluded, they're isolated, you know, that also helps with the shrinkages as well, for their brain not to be developed as much, because when you're isolated, you don't really be around things, you don't really be around signs, so you might not even notice that you're not hearing properly, that you're not remembering things the right way, because there's no one there to tell you what's going on. There's no one there talking to you. So that's also what helps cause, you know, this disorder. But now that we know, because, you know, a lot of people think like, oh, listening to loud music busts my eardrum and this and that. So how can we prevent these things from happening?
You know, that's a very, very good question. But before we get to answering that question, as you were speaking, I was also thinking about people who are actually going through this issue. You know, whenever you're facing an issue, you know, chances are you're going to kind of isolate yourself. You spoke about isolation. But whenever you're facing a situation, people tend to isolate themselves, which also can be harming. It can be harming in the sense that, you know, you become withdrawal. You're not exposing yourself to, you know, being in social environments. You're not exposing yourself to people, maybe because of shame or whatever the case may be. And that's something that we also have to look out for, because if it goes untreated, then chances are it's going to progress.
And when someone catches it, you know, when you are around people, they're going to notice that. And when they catch it, it might be too late for you to get the help that you need.
Yeah, because you're not around people, so no one is there to like quickly tell you that something is wrong.
Exactly. You mentioned about earbuds, you mentioned about these things. Yes, we hear it all the time. We hear it often and all the time. You know, it's dangerous to always, you know, have those
Loud
AirPods.
things,
Yes, because as you listen to loud music, especially for a long period of time, or you're that type of person that you go to sleep with AirPods in your ear, like listening to music, trying to fall asleep. Little do you know, you're aiding in that hearing loss, slowly but surely. You know, sometimes I can be having a conversation with people, with Shaitia, for example. She's like, why are you yelling? I'm like, I'm not yelling.
Yeah, because
you know,
you're so used
exactly,
to it.
because you're just so used to hearing the loudness. And that also can be a key. That also can be kind of like a sign, like, hey, you need to check it out. You know, you need to be careful, check it out, avoid, you know, having those things really loud in your ears, and, you know, etc.
So you already mentioned it, you know, regular checkups for hearing. Maybe now you go to your physical and you don't really check it, but maybe you can ask your physician, your general doctor, to check out your hearing, do a test if, you know, there's a problem with your hearing, because even though you're not experiencing any problem, but as you age, you know, it affects, right? So, you know, sometimes you're like, what? But then you're not really somebody who uses earphones, but then because you age, right? And then that affects the hearing, protecting your ears as well. This as well, if the earplugs would be beneficial if you're in a noisy environment. So you put the earplug without anything, okay? Like and you're not listening to another loud music. But you know, when you are in a noisy environment, for example, like a concert or like a really loud environment that you need to be there, but then you can be able to protect your ears by putting some earplugs on without music, and then, you know, slowly just get yourself used to it and your ears used to, you know, the quiet, serene environment again.
or managing a condition that you might already have. Like I met this lady that she didn't tell me the name of the condition, but she has a condition where she slowly but surely, as time passes and as she ages, she's losing her hearing. So like she started taking steps on how to prepare herself, because she knows eventually one day she's not going to be able to hear completely. So, you know, at the moment, she's managing the condition that she already has, and she's already taken the steps in order to prepare herself for when that happens. So if you know you have a condition, you know, it's always good to always follow up and manage it.
And we're going to shift focus a little bit, because we're talking how to promote our hearing, how to protect our hearing. But, you know, dementia comes because of our brain. So we need to also protect our brain health. You know, we need to stimulate our brain. I love doing puzzles, you know, puzzles, reading a book, you know, doing riddles, things that causes you to think, especially as you age, because that's going to keep your brain healthy. Because our bodies, you know, we have to exercise, we have to build our muscles. So our brain is a muscle as well that we have to keep building, we have to keep promoting for us to keep it healthy. Because, okay, we can protect our ears, you know, but it's 1 out of 12, you know, it's top 12. So there's other things that can cause dementia that we also have to protect ourselves against as well.
And just piggybacking on what you said about reading, there's a study that was done, like if you read aloud, you are stimulating a lot of your senses. So not only your brain, not only your vision, your sight, but also the sound, right? The speech. And you're connecting memory to speech to vision. So imagine all of that all together makes you actually remember. So that is stimulating your brain to actually, like, you know, work more. So, and I do this, I actually, like, you know, read aloud. Like, for example, I would read something, a book, or just anything, magazine or whatever. Even on television, like I would read aloud, because that for me, it helps me remember more. Like phone numbers, even phone numbers, codes, I would have to repeat, not like silently, but with my voice, because that makes me remember more. So sometimes it's maybe you're having a hard time to just, like, you know, remember what you just read. So do this practice, you know, read it aloud, and then, you know, the more you practice, the more you're going to remember, because you are engaging a lot of your, you know, sight, sound, speech, and all of that.
I love that you said that. It takes me back to where I was teaching my niece, like, her phone number and stuff, and I would always find different ways that she can be able to memorize it. And the way that we did it was through music. So whatever you can do that's going to help you to memorize, that's going to help you exercise your brain, make you stay focused and things like that, go ahead and do it. Another thing is maintaining a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. We know that nowadays, if you were to stop and look at, you know, all of the products that you take in, all of the foods that you take in, there's something wrong with almost everything.
Unless you grew it yourself.
Exactly. You know, unless you grow it yourself, there's an issue with everything. But whatever you can do to maintain, to promote that healthy lifestyle, that's also going to help, you know, with your brain, with your hearing, with your overall health. It's good to do it, to exercise that as well.
And, you know, also staying in connection with your loved ones, socializing. As we mentioned, isolation earlier kind of helps with the hearing loss development. So when you're socializing, when you're together with loved ones, one, they can catch when something is wrong, and two, it helps your brain maintain that function, you know, because you're always thinking of stuff, you're always doing stuff, they're always telling you, you know, at least when I'm together with my family, we're competitive
like,
people.
Wait, hold on.
So we're like doing competitions and things. It's gonna always help you maintain that brain function.
So it is very important. Now, if you didn't know, now you know, okay? I mean, hearing loss, dementia, for some reason, it is connected, it is linked, so it is always good to continue educating yourself in anything and everything. You know, maybe you have been going through something and you didn't know exactly why it's happening, what could be the cause of it. You know, it's always good to seek professional help, to ask questions, to inquire, but overall to maintain that healthy lifestyle. As we age, you know, things get more difficult. So whatever we can do to prevent, whatever we can do to save ourselves the time and save ourselves the trouble and not having to worry about an illness, but preventing it, then let us go ahead and do it. I hope this was able to help you. If you have been experiencing or you know someone who has been experiencing as well, I hope this was able to help all of you. But we are going to cut on a quick break and we will be right back.
Laugh, learn, and love with Breaking the Silence. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Susan Lucci. I never thought about heart disease until I had my own heart event. I had a 90% blockage in my main artery and a 75% blockage in the adjacent artery. I received 2 stents in my arteries. Stents developed through research funded by the American Heart Association. Those stents saved my life. Learn more about the American Heart Association's life-saving work at helpheart.org.
Are you sick and tired of all the negativity you see on your social media apps? Follow LFN to change that. You can like us on Facebook, or scroll through our feed on Instagram. And you can watch enriching content on YouTube. LFN. Enrich your life.
Need a ride? Yeah!
Driving with kids is a big responsibility.
Hop in and buckle up!
So don't sweat the small stuff.
You got paint all over our paper!
Get the big stuff right instead.
What does that mean?
Like making sure your kids are in the correct car seat and buckled up for safer travel.
That deserves a wiggly wiggly wig.
To make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Beep, beep. Breaking the silence. Laughs. Fun. Real women, real talk. Stay tuned.
Want more meaningful conversations? Well, then you're in luck, because you're watching Breaking the Silence.
We are back, and we are back with Web Wonders and Whatnots. Get ready. Hold on to your seat, because what you will hear is definitely gonna shock you, okay?
Yes.
Some weird stuff.
So let us get right into the first video. Let's play it. We're gonna come back talking about it. All right?
He suffered catastrophic injuries. A UK man miraculously survived after sustaining a broken neck, fractured spine, smashed ribs, blood in his lungs, and other car crash, evoking injuries from, wait for it, tripping over his cat. I can't remember much, just falling fast. It was quick and it was over within seconds. Then I was at the bottom. Victim Chris Rowley, 59, told the Mirror. The freak Apocalypse Meow accident reportedly occurred on the evening of October 23rd, while the Leicestershire-based professional musician was home alone with his hairless Egyptian Sphinx kitten, Eric Morecambe. Disaster struck after the wrinkly kitty, apparently feeling playful, dove out and latched onto one of its owner's legs while he was coming down the stairs. It took a bit of a chunk out my leg, then I lost my footing, described Rowley, who reportedly tumbled down 14 steps before arriving at the bottom, where he lay unable to move when his feline put the hell in Hello Kitty. The massively injured man didn't realize the extent of his injuries at the time. However, paramedics later revealed that he'd suffered fractured skull, a broken bone in the neck, 2 fractures in the spine, 9 broken ribs, and each rib has multiple fractures, and then I had a bit of blood in the lungs, he said. Eric Morecambe, meanwhile, was completely...
This is wild.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Wow.
I listened to the whole thing. His wife normally works night shift.
Oh, no.
So she wasn't around to help him. His phone was dead.
Oh.
So he couldn't call for help.
Oh my goodness.
And his wife normally gets home around 7 a.m., but she got caught up with extra work and didn't get home till 10 a.m.
Wow.
I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong
went wrong with this guy.
Went wrong. All because his cat was feeling playful. This is ridiculous.
And the cat was uninjured.
No, but wait a minute. There's even more. Even after the guy fell, the cat was still in a playful mood and was just pawing at him. I was like, my goodness, this is crazy. Because when as you can see, you saw for yourself some of the damages, the injuries that he had. I mean, it was compared to a car accident, which is crazy. It is crazy, and his recovery time and everything. Listen, I was just blown away. I told T, I said, listen, if that was my cat,
no, imagine
you know the rest of
14
it.
hours of pain.
14 hours.
14 hours.
14 hours in his pool of blood. That is crazy. I was like, oh no, that is crazy.
He couldn't call for help. There was nothing.
There was no one that can help him.
And
It was
his wife
crazy.
even said when she came home, he was just screaming because he was in so much pain.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm glad though. I'm glad that he's okay. You know, his recovery is gonna take some time, but at least, you know, he's good. He's alive. He's making a full recovery. But I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. Every time
This
he
is
looks
crazy.
at that cat.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know the fate of that cat.
I'm
what
so
the
sorry.
fate of
If it was
that
me,
cat.
I would get rid of the cat. I'm so sorry.
Imagine the.
I sure would. I'd be like, bye, you're leaving. Oh no. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yes.
So.
Well, if this is shocking for you, the next video was completely shocking for me. So let us watch this video so we can understand the shock of this matter.
All right.
Well, have you ever had difficulty expressing exactly what you wanted to say, or perhaps struggled to find the right words in a conversation over the phone? If you have, you're not alone.
Yeah, Mary Jane Cops, a.k.a. the Phone Lady, saying she spotted the rise of what she's calling phone phobia, a new trend emerging of younger people who were never taught how to speak on the phone, opting instead to send emails or texting or direct messaging rather than directly speak with people on the phone. And get this, she's now offering a class, a coaching service to help them overcome their cellular jitters. The cost of that class, $480 an hour. She joins us live. Mary Jane, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate that.
Good morning.
Before we jump into exactly what's happening, I have to ask, are people actually paying you to do this?
I'll clarify that the majority of my clients are CEOs or senior VPs who have a team of individuals that are struggling with phone anxiety or want to improve their phone skills. If someone's going to work with me one-on-one, the coaching charge is $195. So that's a substantial difference.
Wow. Listen.
Wow.
Listen.
Get it together.
$480.
That
is like my
and
car
you know,
bill.
it's not just like,
gotta
okay,
do
talking on
better.
the phone, but it's doing like, you know, things that we were taught from young,
Yeah.
like ordering food. Remember we used to call to order pizza, you know, Chinese food, they ordering food, making appointments, you know, and it doesn't even stop there because like Gen Z today, they don't know their basic information. You know, some of them don't know their information for the doctor. You know, they don't know their medical insurance. They don't know how to get those things.
They don't know what DOB is. They call their parents saying, "What is DOB?" Like, are you kidding me?
You know, so it's just 400 and pay me. I will help you. Listen, they can tell you when I get on the phone. We can be on the phone for hours, okay? I always tell people, when you answer my call, it's a risk you're willing to take. You know it could be a long phone call. It's never short. Pay me. I will help you. I will help you get over that fear, you know? And I just can't understand what the fear is. Like, is it talking to other people? Is it not knowing how? Because the worst they can do is hang up.
Yeah, I mean, but that just goes to show, for me personally, that just goes to show how bad we're headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
We are really headed in the wrong direction, because if you can't even hold a conversation over the phone, simple, basic stuff.
Without even face.
Yes,
hey,
that's what I was
this
thinking.
is-
Like,
come
you
on.
can't
Come
even
on.
see their face. You can't
Imagine
see
with
their
face to
reaction.
face.
So, like, I just couldn't understand how they're so afraid, because it's a phobia, so it's an actual fear, and I understand, like, because nowadays a lot of youths, a lot of teens, they have social anxiety, so they can't even be around each other. But on the phone, you're not around nobody. You're just making a phone call.
Exactly.
So can you write us and let us know if this is your problem and why you are afraid of talking on the phone? I really want to hear this side of the story.
We need, like, this goes to show also that we need to promote social connections.
Yeah.
Like, not even only on the phone, like face-to-face connection, because they're always on their device, and I don't know how many hours a day, except for school. And then in school, they don't want to participate, they isolate themselves. So imagine, they're locked into that device and they don't socialize, they don't talk, and that is why that's like a mask. So I can kind of like, not understand, but like it's a protection for them not to be able to communicate, which is completely off.
Yeah. That's ridiculous for me.
Come on, Gen Zs.
Wake
up. Get it together.
Yes.
Okay. But this next one, for me, is not a shock. It is a shock, but I think it's a wonder.
Yes,
it's a wonder.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah, it is so cool. And if you want to know what it is, let's figure out. Let's watch this video.
I think that idea, when you hear one town living under the same roof, that I think that creates a certain amount of fascination. At first, people think, that's really weird, that's a zombie apocalypse. And then all of a sudden there's this evolution of like, people are like, that's interesting, I want to read that, I want to know about that.
The tunnel creates its own sort of isolation in that it closes every night at 10:30.
Trying to explain to visitors or people who aren't from there, like, no, we really have to go. If we don't go, we're not going to get into Whittier right now. Like, we need to go. It is an interesting, strange place to live, but it's also full of love and full of adventure and some really cool people. And I think sometimes what gets lost in all of that interest is the true history of the town and why it is the way that it is, and that it was a crucial military base during World War II.
It's a one-stop building.
Yes.
Like, you don't need a car.
You don't need to leave
nothing.
I like that.
I'm like, whoa.
And
there's a curfew.
Yes. 10:30, right?
10:30.
Yes.
I find that good and interesting though, because it promotes a certain type of discipline as well. Yeah, I mean, it is. I love
think
this.
also like family time, because you and your loved ones have, because it's like once the tunnel closed, there's no going in, there's no getting in, there's no getting out. Like, you literally have to wait until the next day. So you have to be like, look, I gotta go home right now. And then imagine like your friends are all in the same building.
That's what it promotes, social connection.
Like,
if I need some sugar, I'll just go knock on Tia's door. Tia, can I get some sugar?
But it's the whole town, like almost everybody in that entire town just lives in that building. So you have to imagine, like, they saw the children grow up. They saw like all of these great things happen, and I'm pretty sure nobody's left alone. You know, nobody's forgotten about, because everybody lives there. You know, you can go shopping there. You can go to the doctor there. Everything is just in that building.
Talk about tight-knit community, right? Like, I mean, I just love everything about this. Can I move there?
No, seriously. It kind of like reminds me of my childhood, where like that little town where I grew up in, everybody knows each other, except like we don't live in the same building. But it's kind of like this one, there's only 263 people as of 2023. So imagine those 263 people, how many people you know in your entire life. But with this, because they've, as you said, they've seen them grow up, they see them, they have like that close connection with each other. And I think that's what we really need right now, especially in this age and time. Like we talked about the telephone phobia.
Yeah.
Phobia. That phobia. They need to live in this apartment. In
Yeah,
this residential
definitely.
building.
Hopefully it will help them. But can you imagine? You're not only seeing yourself there, but you see each other everywhere. You go to the doctor, you see the same people. You go to school, you see the same people. You go to the market, you see the same people. So everyone just really knows. You just really know each other and everything.
You can't hide.
Now that you put it that way, it could have its pros and its cons too. Because
the only
you know,
thing is that
I'm thinking about Angelique with her when she says her aunt. Her aunt will come. She was just
everybody.
Everybody would. Oh, they're dating now. You see them together. They would know everything about you.
Okay, now
that's
that you
the
put
only
it
thing.
that
Maybe
way.
privacy is a little limited. But other than that, the pros over kind of like the cons, right?
But it's nice.
It's
really
such a wonder.
It's really, really a wonder.
Uh-huh.
I really like
really
that
cool
one.
for me.
So listen, from the catastrophe to the phone phobia to the tight-knit community, everyone living in one building, it's like, listen, this was definitely a web wonder and whatnot.
Yes.
So I hope you guys were probably shocked just as we were shocked about this. And hopefully if you know any web wonders that we haven't mentioned here, you can always feel free to send it to us so we can share it here on the show. But we're gonna go on a break and we'll be right back.
Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Everyone loves a champion, someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job, it's our promise.
Hi, my name is Missy Peregrine. I play Special Agent Maggie Bell on the TV show FBI. Every year, Americans lose millions of dollars to scammers who are acting as FBI agents or other federal agents. If you get a phone call from someone claiming to be from the FBI and they pressure you to give money, don't. Don't panic, don't pay, and do not provide any information. A real FBI agent will never ask you for money. Please check out ic3.gov.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And we are back. How do we balance our passions and careers? Today we're going to be discovering certain things, how we can have joy in every aspect of our lives. You know, we all have dreams and passions outside of our 9 to 5, whether it may be writing, painting, listening to music, dancing. How can we incorporate all of these things or our passions along together with our career?
Yeah.
And it's hard nowadays to find that time, you know, because as you said, you have your career. Many times you do a lot at work, and sometimes when you get home, you just want to rest. You just want to just be like, oh, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to think, I just want to shut my brain off. But, having that passion outside of work is actually very, very important for our well-being.
Yeah, but also we can put them together too, right? Like our guests, right? Some of them, they pursue their passion and now they made it to their career. So we're going to be discussing that as well. But if their passion is completely different in their career, then we're going to talk about on how to balance it out so that you're not overwhelmed with your career and then you don't pursue your passion.
And it always goes back to having that work-life balance as well. You spoke about just now incorporating both of them together, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I love music. Music is just in my blood.
That's a cue.
I'm kidding. It's a cue to play some music. No, I'm kidding. But music is just in my blood. I love music. I can't find myself working, cleaning, doing any of these things without music. You know what I mean? Whether it's listening to it or, kind of just thinking about something, listening to a song for a specific purpose, or whatever it is. But I choose to incorporate it because I know that it's definitely going to help me. It helps me focus even more. And those who have their career, who have their jobs, their 9 to 5, maybe you have that option, you have that, wiggle room to incorporate things that you love into your everyday life. Even as you are working, you're able to, still enjoy some of these passions that you have,
There is actually a recent survey from Americans that just under a quarter are unhappy with their professional lives, and 37% added that they feel behind on their career goals, and 34% aim to improve their work-life balance moving forward. So it's not that high, but still there is that percentage. And if you wanted that to decrease and actually make your work a little bit more enjoyable and actually make you more fulfilling, then we're gonna give you maybe some tips on how you can do that, how you can balance and turn your passion into actually possibilities.
Because it's important for our well-being. When we pursue our passion, it helps us reduce stress. It helps us have genuine happiness, because as we say, when you work a lot and you just worry about work, at the 37%, they're not happy. They're just getting by. But when you have your passion, whether inside of work or outside of work, then you're able to enjoy what you're doing. Like, let's say I'm at work and I know that tonight I love dancing. I don't love dancing. But let's say I love dancing and I have a salsa class after work, I'm going to be excited because I'm like, oh, tonight I'm going to be dancing. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. I will be able to get through my day much more because I know that later I'm going to enjoy myself.
It's going to be more of a motivation for you to do whatever it is that you need to do, for you to catch up on your work, for you. It also helps you. It also promotes, I believe, it also promotes in you developing that kind of that go-getter type of attitude, because you know what's gonna come afterwards. It's something that you're looking forward to. It's gonna pump you up emotionally. It's like you can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's after work.
It's like a reward system.
There you go.
Like, you know what? Once I finish this, I got that coffee waiting for me, that salsa waiting for me, and I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna enjoy it. So it's kind of like, okay, that's my motivation.
So it definitely helps with like your overall well-being, which is very, very good. Whenever you're good, you're in that good headspace. I mean, nothing is impossible. You feel like you can conquer the world, I believe, in my opinion.
And one of the things to find balance, and I remember this because one of our guests came in and she's like, make it like you are scheduling it for yourself. Like I have like a calendar full of schedules, appointments for other people, but I have a schedule there written, schedule with myself. or like an appointment with myself. And that's her me time, that's her going to the gym, that's her maybe taking that salsa class or a dance class or whatever, yoga, meditation, whatever she enjoys doing. But she makes sure to put it like as an appointment for herself, appointment with myself. And that's like a non-negotiable for her, that any time of the week it has to be there. And when you look at it like that, you know, as an appointment, or it's something that you need to do, you cannot miss it, then you make time basically for it, you know?
And
it's not like just like, okay, let me just make sure the other week is okay, and then I'm gonna put an appointment, but it's something that you need to attend.
And you know, we have to set realistic goals. I'm remembering one of our guests that we had, which was Flowers is for Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And she would say, like, every Friday, she would aim to not do any work. You know, that was her day to take care of herself. That was her day to, you know, focus on herself. But she had the realistic goal to know that maybe not every Friday I'm not able to, you know, just do nothing. So if you are the type of person and you have all of this stuff planned, you have all of these things done, and then you just want to just go ahead and be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing today. We have to be realistic. You know, we have to set realistic goals, little by little. Integrate maybe 10 minutes a day to read your book, to listen to music, to do something that you enjoy, and as you go along, you build it up.
You know, and that's creative ways that both of you mentioned. What you mentioned are creative ways that you can be able to integrate your passion into your everyday life, into your career, because like you said, you know, it becomes a part of you. It becomes something that it's not like, oh, well, if I have time, I do it. No, you actually make the time because it is a part of your life. It's a part of you being well mentally, emotionally. You know, it's, you know, your time where you're actually taking that time for self-care. So finding different ways, creative ways for you to integrate your passion into your career, that's also gonna help you a lot, a whole lot.
And this one, setting boundaries, learning to say no.
Which is my favorite.
Because sometimes you overwhelm yourself with so much work, and at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to finish anything.
Exactly.
So it's better to just maybe upset some, but then you're going to be able to do one thing that you actually committed to. But then imagine if you just say, okay, I'll do it, but then it delays everything, right?
Saying no can actually be like a refresher to you as well. Because let's say, for example, you know, you had in your schedule to go to that salsa class, but you had so much work that you denied yourself from that salsa class. You became bitter, angry, upset because you couldn't go to that salsa class, you know, so now you're upset, now you're huffing and puffing, now you're stressed, now you're feeling tense. But if you actually take that time and do that, you say, no, I'm gonna stop to this work and I'm gonna go to my salsa class. When you come back to your work, you'll be motivated,
because you released it.
Exactly. So, yeah, y'all, this is we need to incorporate that, okay? We're gonna incorporate that. But listen, that is all we have for this segment here. We're gonna go on a quick break, and we'll be right back. Question of the day, question of the day. It is time for question of the day. So if you missed it towards the beginning of the show, this is the question for you. What is your favorite way to network? And as always, we have lovely, wonderful people who send in their comments, and Chelsea is the first one. I go to networking events with friends to help break the ice. Yes, girl, come out of that comfort zone, break that ice. That is exactly what we need to do. So more power to you, Chelsea. All right, girl.
And our next one is from Shirley. Online, I want to avoid people as much as possible.
No.
Shirley, do you have telephone phobia? I will get it right next time. Okay? Phone phobia, please, Shirley.
No. I mean, I guess because you have LinkedIn and you have other things. But Put yourself out there,
girl.
Shirley. It won't hurt.
We'll help you, okay?
Yes.
Hit us up afterwards, and we'll help you.
step.
Yes, we'll help you out with that, okay? All right.
Next one is from Emma. I'm a social butterfly, so I network everywhere I go. Like strangers, like like she talks with the line waiting on the.
Sounds so familiar, but okay.
I wonder who it sounds like. All right, Emma, that's good. I mean, you and Shaitia will get along. Great.
If you see me at the supermarket, Emma, we can network. Maybe if you got a business, we can network and you come on our show.
Okay, all right. So basically that's your answer already, huh? Oh, all right then. What's your favorite way to network?
For me, like family gatherings.
Okay.
Because like I have like with my dad's side, like I have a very big family, and you know, like they bring like even. They're not part of the family, they bring friends. So sometimes you're not even really like wanted to, socialize, but then your mom, your dad, your, relatives come and meet this person. So you're kind of like forced to socialize. So that is my favorite way.
Your unofficial cousin,
yes.
that's not your cousin.
Correct. You're on
we grew
point.
up, but we know each other since like way back. So we call each other cousins, but we're really not. Well, mine's would actually be volunteering. Because when you volunteer, you get to know different groups, you get to know different people, who they know, and it's just, for me, it's just a great way to network. And at the same time, you're doing well. There's a good purpose behind whatever it is that you're doing. So for me, volunteering would be my favorite way to network, all right? But if you haven't sent in your response to this question, you can continue sending them in. We will love to hear from you guys, all right? But we're gonna go on a quick break, and then afterwards, we will be right back.
We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with the crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Empowered women, empowering conversations. Stay with us on Breaking the Silence as we inspire and uplift each other.
Let's strive to grow together on Breaking the Silence.
Great show. Great topics. We could have gone on and on and on and on, but you see the importance of paying attention, of educating ourselves when it comes to our overall health, not just the basic things that we normally check up on a yearly basis or every 6 months or whatever, but always to go more in depth, because hey, you never know, it might knock on your door.
Especially with the hearing, because I don't know if you remember, but I remember like you would get your eyes checked at school, they would take your hearing. Like as a child,
they don't do that anymore, right? In school.
I mean, I don't know if they do it in school, but I know I don't do it anymore unless it's a problem, So I think it's really beneficial, especially because most insurance cover like the annual checkup.
I like
so
that
if
you
have
said
no
that.
problem, you have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
To get it checked.
Don't wait till there is a problem for you to check it, and managing our passions, balancing our passions with our careers. It is something that is going to bring you joy, happiness, all of the above. It is going to bring excitement to your life.
Exactly. And if possible, incorporate the two.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
You'll be able
so
to
listen, and the web wonders and whatnots. Listen, I know y'all you still shocked, right? Listen, me too. I am completely shocked. It was crazy.
Yes.
But hey, it happens. It happens. But we can never forget to remind them about
Kings.
Our King series, yes, which airs Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can't catch it on the weekdays, you have the weekends to catch it at the same time. So listen, that is 7 days a week.
Yes.
7 days a week that you can be able to catch it. You can be able to, let others know about it. Put other people on game when it comes to the King series, because let me tell you, it is off the hook. It is great. It is wonderful. You don't want to miss today's episode. You saw the teaser earlier. It's going to be really, really good. But that is all the time that we do have for today. We're going to have to say, see you guys till next time.